Hello everyone, and today we're going to be talking about another mod for Medieval 2 Total War. This is the Regions and Provinces mod. Now, this mod has a fairly basic name, and that's because it's a pretty basic sort of mod. It's not a basic mod, it's just a vanilla style mod. And it's totally vanilla. Like, if you love the vanilla gameplay in terms of how the game plays, like the battle balance, the campaign map balance, the way the buildings work, the way the tech progression works, and all that, then this is the mod for you. This mod doesn't change any of that. What it does change is that it adds a ton of regions and provinces. But not only that, that's kind of selling it short. It also adds a ton of factions and units as well, right? So this mod it's a little bit strange. I want to say that there are a lot of inconsistencies. I really like this sort of mini map they've made, but it's not exactly accurate compared to what you actually see once you actually get in the game, right? So, like in this mini map here, Georgia's one province, Kiliki has one province, for example. But when you get in the game, that's not what it is. That doesn't reflect what it's like in game, right? Now, another thing that bothers me is that, over here it says the English Kingdom. I mean, that's fine. It sounds a little strange, but then you have the Georgian Kingdom, and the is always not capitalized here, but then it's capitalized in the description, and religion is Orthodox. And then some of the faction descriptions are not as good, like the Irish Kingdom. It says difficulty factor estimated moderate. And then the whole description is at the Battle of Clontarf, when High King Brian Boru defeated an alliance between the rebellious King of Leinster, Lysanter, the Dublin Ostmen, and their vast host of Vikings allies. That's it. The Armenian Principality, based in Lesser Armenia and Sicilia, modern-day southern Turkey. The Cuman Khanate, the Khanate of the Cumans, a nomadic people from the eastern steppes. It's just quite inconsistent. And there are some things that are pretty accurate. Like, for example, the Armenian Principality was not a kingdom yet. It was a principality in 1080, right? But then you go to Portugal, it says the Portuguese kingdom, but Portugal was a county until it became a kingdom later, much long after this start date, right? So it's a little strange. This mod is a little strange in that department. But let's get in the campaign, and we'll take a look at some of the units, some of the additions of this mod. Well, I wanted to start this campaign as the Ghana Empire, because I believe this is the most interesting faction added in regions and provinces, because I don't think there are many mods, if any, that add Ghana as a faction, though it makes total sense, because Ghana, of course, fought with the Almoravids here in Morocco. And if I'm not mistaken, this mod utilizes the big map, the Medieval 2 Total War big map, which I actually really like. It's not a bad looking map. Now, if look at Lake Urmia and look at Lake Van, those don't look that good. But most of the map, well, except for the islands, Lesbos, looks like a 70s hairdo, but it looks okay. It's not the most accurate map in the world, but it's big. The scale is nice and big. And additionally, playing as Ghana is pretty cool. But let us toggle the fog of war and take a look at the entire map. Because like I said, this mod doesn't really change up the vanilla gameplay. Like, you see the buildings pretty much do what they do in regular Medieval 2. And, most of these buildings have sort of vanilla construction times and construction costs, right? Like land clearance and, well, pretty much all of them. So the differences are in what this mod adds. So this mod is based on the big map, right? So that changes the gameplay in and of itself, right? But additionally, this mod adds a ton of units. So like you can see here, there's, well, this is not the best example, but for a lot of factions, there are unique levy units. There are unique elite units, right? Especially for the new factions. Except doesn't seem like Ghana has too much, but they do, just not at this building level. Of course, the Aztecs here are actually on the map from the start, so that's interesting to see. So we've got Genoa here, and instead of Milan controlling Genoa, like Milan does in Vanilla Medieval 2, you have Genoa controlling Milan. This probably bothers me more because I'd rather have Milan control Genoa, but whatever. What else is strange here? Well, like I said, Georgia has one province on the minimap in the campaign select screen, but it has two provinces here, which is fine. But, you know, Georgia didn't control Tbilisi in 1080. The capital was Kutaisi. So, and that Tbilisi was controlled by the Shaddadid Emirate, right? So, yeah, that's something. The Armenian Principality did not control Adana or Sis in 1080. They controlled Vakha in the mountains north here. Also, Sis is not all the way over here. This would be more of the location of maybe Malatya or Marash, perhaps, rather than Sis. Sis would be over here, around here. Adana. Adana's not bad, maybe a little more west, but that's all fine. This mod is not the most historically accurate. Anyway, I like how the rebel provinces here are labeled owned by the various lesser and local factions. I don't know why the mod designers thought that would be, I don't know, not immersion breaking. But all the provinces have interesting names. So you have the Earldom of York, the Earldom of Cheshire, the Earldom of Norfolk, right? The Duchy of Naples, the Duchy of Apulia, the Duchy of Calabria. What else have you got? The County of Lesser Armenia, even though that doesn't really fit for this region. Diyarbakir is the Duchy of Greater Armenia. That doesn't make any sense. Yerevan is the Duchy of Azerbaijan. Sounds like some Azeri nationalist's dream, perhaps. The County of Banat. A lot of these names, I think they're supposed to go for a sort of paradox vibe here by having all these counties and duchies, even though they're not fully accurate, just like in paradox games. But here it's a mixed bag, right? Like Bulgaria is under the Byzantines, but the province name is the Petty Kingdom of Bulgaria. That doesn't make any sense. And then Skopje, which would have been Bulgaria in this time period, is called the Principality of Macedonia, which also doesn't really make sense here. I mean, Adrianople was sort of the area called Macedonia in this period. Anyway, things were definitely changed here in the medieval time, in the medieval period. A lot of those geographical names. Other than that, I mean, the mod is very cool. The concept is very cool. I just wish the mod was more polished. There's just a lot here that doesn't make sense and is immersion breaking. But if you enjoy the vanilla gameplay, if you enjoy Vanilla Medieval 2 and you don't care about historical accuracy, then this is the mod for you. For me, it's a little tough for me to recommend, because it is it's so unpolished from a historical point of view and from a descriptions point of view, and also just from an editing point of view. Like the various and lesser local factions thing, that bothers me. I like that it has Ghana. That's cool. But yeah, this mod, it's pretty interesting. If you enjoy vanilla Medieval 2, I'd say give it a shot. But as for me, I can't personally recommend it. If you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider subscribing to the channel, consider liking this video, and I'll see you in the next one later.